CBS News political director and Face the Nation moderator John Dickerson is also in Washington. John, good morning.
Good morning, Norah.
Two big questions this morning center on this. Foreign influence in U.S. government actions and the credibility of the White House. What concerns you the most?
Well, there are just so many questions here. The two big ones, which is what role did the president, and the president is at the center of any question that needs to be asked. What did the president know, and when did he know it about Michael Flynn's contacts with the Russians, both after President Trump was elected, but also beforehand? Because you remember, President Trump and Michael Flynn were getting briefed by the intelligence agencies about ongoing Russian efforts to meddle in the U.S. election before the election had taken place. And so the nature of any contact between Michael Flynn and the Russians while the election was still going on has to be seen in that context. So what did the president know about that? But then when the information came to the White House, what did the president know? How did he handle it? Is it that Michael Flynn didn't tell the truth, or that he was simply caught not telling the truth? And then, of course, there's that question of the vice president. He went out on Face the Nation and defended Michael Flynn very strongly, a series of questions, but he didn't apparently know when the White House knew, and what was the reason for the delay.
What are you hearing, John, about that, about why Mike Pence was kept out of the loop?
Well, one explanation I got was that when the Department of Justice delivered the information to the White House, that the lawyers were assessing that question of whether any laws were broken, that it was strictly seen in the legal context, though Sean Spicer said that question was quickly decided. And so if they were, on the one hand, checking out whether there was anything illegal with what Michael Flynn had done, at the center of that question, though, is the new revelation, or presumably would have been new to some people in the White House, that he had, in fact, had these conversations about sanctions with Russia while President Obama, then President Obama, was enacting those sanctions on the Russians. And somebody should have thought to tell the vice president, given that he'd gone out and made that very strong statement. So it seems a little confusing that that this wasn't done, and that and we still don't really know what the answer is.
John, the president has tweeted about this morning at 7:08 a.m. This Russian connection, he writes, this Russian connection nonsense, he writes, is merely an attempt to cover up the many mistakes made in Hillary Clinton's losing campaign. What do you make of that response?
Well, I think when your national security advisor has had to resign for not telling the truth to the vice president when he's been involved in conversations with Russians that he said he didn't have, I think you can't go back to the Hillary Clinton well. Donald Trump is the president of the United States, and he has a serious issue here on his hands, which is that he's trying to build the plane while he's flying it. President Trump is dealing with a series of complicated international issues, and he's just lost a crucial voice at his side. And so that's really the central question. The campaign that happened long ago.
Is there any way that the Republicans on Capitol Hill can avoid not investigating this?
It seems difficult. It would seem very hard for the Republicans, because this is not a small deal. This is the center of truthfulness, which is, there have been problems with truth even in explaining what happened here. But it's also a crucial national security question that many Republicans are still wondering about.
All right. John, thank you. Always good to see you.